who obviously want to learn more, they can go to your book. But for people who go, okay, I get it. I get your philosophy. It's about getting stuck in earlier and not waiting till it's too late or very late before I start addressing things around my health and my longevity. I always like to finish the podcast with some sort of actionable take-homes for my audience. So for that person who does feel inspired and goes, okay, right, you've convinced me. I'm going to get on top of this now. I'm 40 years old. It's not going to happen to me what happened to my father or my brother or my granddad or whatever. I want to take control of my life and my health. What would you say to them?
Well, if you're really committed, I would say get the data, right? Let's figure out what your baseline is according to all of those metrics that matter. And again, we do lay them all out in the book, right? So you need to know your VO2 max. You need to have a DEXA scan and know, what your ALMI is. I mean, again, if you really want to understand these things, and yeah, you're going to have to invest in doing these things. I mean, whether you're in the UK or in the US, no health insurance company is going to pay for that information. You're going to have to get it on your own. And there are less expensive ways to do it. There are ways to estimate those things beyond measuring them via the gold standard. But what you want to do is take advantage of the fact that you're 40, right? And take advantage of the fact that you have hopefully 4 or 5 decades ahead of you on which to compound benefit. This is a much different proposition than if you're in the last few years of your life, what I call the marginal decade, and you realize, oh, I want to do something about it. There's still value in making change at any point, but you're going to be able to move the needle less. So if you're talking about this through the lens of somebody who's in midlife or even younger, what you want to do is say, what changes can I make consistently? I often say, I'd much rather someone do 7 out of 10 work every single day than do 10 out of 10 work some days and 0 out of 10 work other days. The ping-ponging back and forth tends to produce inferior results. As far as what to do once you have those results, I think the results have to drive it, right? So if your VO2 max is at the 25th percentile, that's an enormous opportunity. You have to be doing the type of training that's going to increase VO2 max, both increasing your aerobic efficiency, your base of aerobic fitness, and your peak. If by extension, your VO2 max is already at the 80th percentile, but your muscle mass and strength are at the 20th percentile, then that's where you just need to disproportionately train while you do things to maybe maintain your aerobic fitness. Again, the list goes on and on. If your sleep is really the thing that's suffering, then that's where you need to focus. And again, we kind of lay out how to do that. If you're overnourished and under-muscled, then you're going to be focusing on strength training, protein, and calorie reduction. And that's probably going to be your biggest focus to get back onto a level playing field of health. So I know that's not a very satisfying answer because it, again, is an individual answer. But unfortunately, I think at this level of Medicine 3.0, it's the only way that I can think about talking through these issues.